back down here on our southern public land unit this morning at our river spot where we had that encounter with that mature buck. And when we went back and looked at the footage from last year and re-looked at this buck's footage from a couple days ago, we realized it was a buck that we seen last year just down the river that we were calling Limpy, that we seen at the end of last year too. So that's kind of cool to know that he's still alive. He put on probably 20-30 inches of antler. But as you can tell right now, we got like 30-mile-an-hour winds here. They're out of the south, just the wind. That was good for him when he was down here before. So we're hoping to see him again this morning, but we got a little bit of a wait here before the sun comes up. So we'll sit tight, hang on to the tree so we don't fall out, and hopefully that big buck will come back. Well, we climbed down from our tree stand this morning to make it quick. We didn't see anything, so it was pretty windy. That might have had something to do with it. And then as we were climbing down, we had 3 guys walk through with crossbows walking down the river. They came from private. I don't know if they knew where they were at or not. Came tramping through, walked by our stuff, and they actually walked around the edge and went into a area that we know the does are bedding in. So they're probably in there screwing some things up right now, which isn't good. But we decided we're going to walk up here 100 yards to where this buck has been crossing to look for a place to possibly move our tree stand. And when we got down here, we can tell where the deer are walking out, but there really isn't a good tree. So I think the plan is to sit on the other side of this tree on the ground, and then the cameraman's going to be back a little further, and that way it's just easier than moving the tree stand to come sit over here. We think we have just as good cover sitting off the ground. He won't be able to see me until he gets past. He shouldn't be able to see the cameraman at all. So that's the plan for now, but we'll be back in here tomorrow. Hopefully we can see him come out on this trail again, and that's really what we're waiting for to move down here. We want to see him just one more time, use this trail, then we'll move down here. But for now we're going to get out of here before we screw anything up and head back to the truck. Well, we're back down here on our river unit spot here this morning. It's pretty cool this morning, probably 37 degrees, and we have about the same temperatures as we had when I seen that buck a week or so ago. But we think we might have seen a doe early this morning, but that's the only thing we've seen. But like I said before, this is kind of a late morning stand, so we're just going to sit back here and see if we can see anything this morning. Well, we're out today on our southern public land unit. As you can probably tell, it's pretty windy today, 40 miles an hour. So we're not going to get in the tree stand and hunt. We've had a trail cam hung up here on this property for probably 2 or 3 weeks now that we haven't checked. So I came in today to check it. I found another hunter's tree stand on the way in. He had a couple of trail cams up. So looks like there's a little bit more pressure on this property than I thought. But when I went to check that camera, there's a scrape literally right in front of the camera, and a whole bunch of rubs and one really big rub right there in front of the camera. So I'm excited to check that camera and see what it has on it for pictures when I get back. But I wasn't sure about this property, but the rub and that scrape really picks up my spirits a little bit about this property. And so, like I said, I'll go back, check that camera, and see what happens. So that's the game plan for this property. We're just going to check that camera, see what's on it, and we'll go from there. And I want to talk a little bit about that southern public land unit we've been on. And we've seen a nice mature buck down there, but we went down last weekend and we didn't see anything. We had a couple small does come running by us, but that was it. And then we checked the trail camera. There was a buck on there that he's been on our camera 4 or 5 times, but he's always come through at 9 o'clock in the morning during daylight. We had one picture of him. He's the only deer we got on camera for that whole last week, and he's coming through at 3 o'clock in the morning. So what that tells me is that something happened down there, whether it be pressure, something drastic changed. I'm not sure what it is, but the deer aren't moving through that stand. So we're supposed to get a cold front in the coming week. We'll be back down there next weekend. We're going to hunt Saturday morning. So based off what happens Saturday morning, we're either going to stay in that stand location, or we're going to put the stands on our back and try to find a better place to put those stands where the deer are actually moving. So next Saturday, next weekend, is a pivotal day for us for our deer season, I believe. I think our whole deer season could spend on what choice we make next Saturday morning. So make sure you guys check back in here soon so you can see that blog update as to what happens Saturday morning and what we choose to do. But there'll be more information coming in that blog about why we chose to stay or why we chose to move, depending on what happens. So make sure you guys are checking in as the rut's starting to kick up. We're excited to get in the tree stand here the next coming weeks.